You read that right. I'm selling my favorite car. This is my 2016 Mazda Miata that I bought brand new from the dealership. This car has been on the channel a number of times, including our very first video when we put coilovers on this. And since then, we've featured my CB3 Fabrication hardtop that I made, as well as doing a roll bar installed, and it may have been on a couple others I'm probably forgetting. Now, this decision probably comes as a shock to a lot of people, including some of my friends that were very surprised when I told them I was planning to sell this. But the fact is, I've actually been thinking about this for quite a while now. Now, to go over the reasons why, let's go for a test drive. I will miss that cold start. One of the things that you can really notice in this car is there's a lot of road and wind noise. So with the hardtop and with the soft top, it's about the same. You don't really get away from it. It's just part of one of the things that you have to deal with for the fact that this car is a convertible. Now add on to the fact that there's modifications to this car to make the suspension stiffer, and the result is what you hear. One of the other issues I have with the car is this. So the roads in the area that I live are particularly crappy. There's a lot of potholes, there's a lot of areas where the surface is cracked and uneven, and it really shakes this car a lot. And unfortunately, with the fact, again, that this is a convertible, it's not something that you can fix. The only way you could get around it in a car like this would be if you had a full cage. At that point, this car is no longer a road car. Alright, now that we've gone over some of the road manner issues I have with the car, let's go over some other considerations that led me to this decision. First up, I actually don't like convertibles. I mean, I think that's fairly obvious by the fact that I have a hardtop that never comes off the car. I've had 3 Miatas actually, and all of them I've had hardtops on. And all of them had the same issue. There's creaking, there's issues with getting it to seal properly, and some stiffness issues that just come with the fact that the car was designed to not have a fixed top on it. It was designed to be top down. Now, why did I pick a Miata then, you may be asking? Well, first of all, obviously when I was starting out, they were very affordable, and I actually still think they are some of the best pure sports cars that money can buy. You know, they're fairly affordable, even new ones. This costs as much as a, hatchback or other compact car would nowadays. And they're fun. And some of you are probably asking, okay, why didn't you just get an RF if having a soft top was going to be an issue? Well, there's a couple reasons. First up was the fact that you can't really fit a motorsports grade roll bar in an RF. There's one bar on the market I know of in North America, and if you put that bar in, you can't fold the top down. So that's $3,000 to remove functionality from the car if you want to go to the track. Also, when I bought the car, I lived in Azusa, which has some fantastic driving roads such as San Gabriel Canyon, and a road that's very well known called GMR, or Glendora Mountain Road. These are fantastic mountain canyon roads. I would go up there about once a week whenever I could and just enjoy the car and some great driving. Now, since then I've moved, and the area I live in now does not have very good roads, and it doesn't have a lot of canyon roads either. Most of the roads are really rough, as you could tell by our drive. And I was also doing autocross at the time and the occasional track day, which this car was perfect for. And the third issue is I'm getting old. Okay, I'm not that old, but I am 35, and my life situation has changed. I've got a house now that takes up a lot of my time, and I'm doing a lot of the work myself, which means by the time I do have free time to do car stuff, I'm usually tired and not motivated to do it. And when I do work on car stuff, it's usually over at Joe's place, either working on the Datsun or working on whatever else we have in the garage at the time. And for the most part, that's fine by me. I enjoy doing those things, and those are stress relievers for me. But that also means I am not taking this out and going and enjoying it. And now, obviously, the question that some of you are probably thinking, okay, so now your situation has changed, why don't you get an RF now? And I had considered that at first for a while, but the reality is I kind of want to do something different. I've been doing Miatas for over 11 years now. I've had 3 of them. I've had an NA, an NB, and then this one. And I've tried to do different things in the past. I had a Fiesta ST for a while before I bought this. The reason I don't have that car anymore is it turned out to be a lemon, and I traded it in actually to get this car. And then I tried again, obviously, when I bought the Z. You know, that was a good foray into a more GT-ish style sports car, but the Z had its own drawbacks. Obviously, I got that car for fairly cheap, and that was because it was older and it had a lot of miles on it, and it was an automatic. Those things added together meant that it was a car very much of its time with a lot of hard plastic surfaces on the inside, and it had some issues. You know, if you put over 200,000 miles on a car, you're bound to have some issues. And that engine was about ready to be rebuilt. That's why we pulled it out for the Datsun instead, because I didn't want to spend money on a car that I wasn't enjoying. That all being said, that does not necessarily mean no more Miatas at all. I'm actually planning to keep the hardtop on this car because, well, I made it myself. So it's the one thing I do want to keep from the car. But I've also been considering possibly getting an NA or NB Miata to go back to my roots. But that will have to be in the future when either I have more space and more financial ability and more time to do those types of things. And right now, I just want to have something that I can enjoy. And kind of the sad part is I'm not enjoying this car anymore. So the final question that everybody's probably going to be asking is, what's next? Well, if you want to find that out, you're going to have to watch our next video. And if you want to know when that's going to come out, make sure to subscribe. And we'll see you next time.